So the Bachmann 03, the locomotive I've wanted to show you lot for a very long time, as I got it at the Midland, I think it was Midland exhibition, which was at the Midland Railway, of course, and I bought it at a stand, and I looked at it on the way in, and I thought, well, that's a very nice engine, and I'd seen a review on it before coming out, and I was like, if I could find one of them, that'd be great. Of course I saw one, and I walked past it, and for the whole day I was just looking around, seeing if any other models caught my eye, and none did quite as much as this one. And if you watch the Midland Rail-X video, you'll see that I kind of look at it afterwards, and I also got, I think it was about 5 coaches at the same store. And of course, as you can see, it was an exhibition model, as you can see from that bit. So let's get straight on with the review, and I'll leave the backstory. So I'll tell you about the class. The British Rail Class 03 locomotive is, together with the Class 04, one of British Rail's most successful smaller 060 diesel mechanical shunters. The class numbering 230 examples, and was built at Swindon and Doncaster in 1957 to 1962. Now all of them were numbered D2000 to D2399, or D2399, yeah. But there were 2 used as departmental locomotives, and originally numbered 91 and 92. So if you're thinking most successful British Railways shunter, I thought that was the Class 08 and Class 09. What they mean is, at least I think this is what they mean, that this was a completely diesel locomotive, so it only ran on a diesel motor. So it wasn't a diesel electric like the Class 08. A diesel electric is a diesel engine that powers an electric motor that powers the wheels. This one was just a pure diesel engine that powered the wheels. So no electric stuff, all diesel. And of course not the most numerous shunter, as that once again falls to the Class 08, which I think on the box of the Hornby 08 it said there was 1,000 at one point, which is a lot of shunters. I think the only other shunter that was the most numerous before that was the Pannier tank. But anyway, if you're wondering what's the difference between a Class 03 and a Class 04, I don't know whether the motor's any different, but a Class 03, which is what this is, has oval buffers and a slightly, I can't remember whether it's a smaller or a bigger, I think it's smaller vent at the front. But also normally the exhausts stick out that way. I'll show you the picture that's on Wiki at the minute that I'm reading off, but I believe that'd be copyright and such. Anyway, here's the model, and it's such a cute little shunter. I mean, I think I used this for about a month, non-stop. And to be honest, it has got a great motor, a great detail. It's just a great little model. So, starting off, I just want to say I don't know whether it was weathered before or after the previous owner bought it. So I don't know if it was factory weathered or what. But anyway, it's an okay job. It's very light weathering. I might send it off to be re-weathered, so I might have a medium weathering. Anyway, so this one is D2011, but I got mine in 2013. It'd been cool if it was 2013. And as you can see, just moving away from that, As you see further down, it's got very small wheels. There's no dirt on the wheels, that's surprising. Normally my engines are filth all over the wheels. Anyway, so as you can see, it just fits in the palm of your hand. It's really small. This has appeared in quite a few, a couple of liveries. I wouldn't say loads. It has appeared in quite a few liveries in Bachmann's range. So you had the BR Black with an early crest, late crest, BR Blue. BR Blue is probably my... Actually, I think BR Black's probably my favourite, then BR Green, then BR Blue. Then I believe it was Network Southeast. I think that's the one James has. I think, actually, I don't know if it's an 04 or an 03. Well, tell me if it's an 03 or an 04, James. Anyway, the only problem I found out after buying this is that the ladders or steps are missing on it. Yeah, but anyway, I like seeing the counterbalance. So anyway, back to the wheels. Being really small, I lost track completely then, just went all over the place. Anyway, the small wheels, normally if an engine had small wheels it meant that it had more traction, whereas if it had bigger wheels it meant it'd have less traction, but it'd be faster. That's why you see the express engines with massive wheels, and you see freight engines with really small wheels. A good example of this is an 8F. 8F has quite small wheels, whereas say an A4 has really big wheels. Well, big wheels compared to an 8F. Anyway, so has really nice. It's actually really nicely weathered. I must admit, it's dirtied up all the connecting rods really well. The chassis detail's good too. I mean, you have the sanders, the counterbalance, although the screw's quite prominent, although I don't think you're supposed to have the ladders off. You can even see where they were. I believe is that one of the fuel tanks, I believe. And then if we go up, you have the lake crest, which has been weathered over, so you can't see how nicely it's been applied. The windows have been weathered up slightly, and I believe all Bachmann Class 03s come with a driver on the inside. I don't think you have to take the whole body off, or at least the cab off, and put a guy in. I think it already comes with one in, and it actually has quite nice cab detail too, but you can't see it because of the windows being all dirtied up. Can you see on that side? No, you can't see any better. Anyway, so there you have a works plate. Let's see if you can read it. Oh, come on, camera. There we go. Built 1959, Swindon. So this is a Great Western diesel. So you can see all the, I'm guessing these were the handles that they'd used to open here, as all in here you'd be able to get into the engine compartments. So all these little hinges here would be where the doors open. I don't know why they always have so many doors to open. All you really need is maybe two big ones. Then you have steps that go up onto the roof, so they'd be able to, I was going to say clean it, but I don't think they'd really need to clean it. Maybe if something got stuck in the exhaust, they'd be able to climb up and get it out. Has lamp hooks, but also electric lights underneath. I don't know why you'd need both. I guess you'd need the electric lights, but I can't see why you'd need the lamp hooks, unless the lights went out. Then you just replace it, wouldn't you, or fix it. Anyway, so the guy who previously had this has fitted a vacuum pipe on. I don't think there was room for one before, but he's just glued one on, which is very nice. sprung buffers, but these ones seem to be a bit stiff. They don't go back all the way. I don't know if that was intended. Now normally these the 04 and the 03, they actually come with obviously that's the bit where you put the NEM pocket in. It comes with a bit where you can take out the NEM pocket and you can put in, I guess you could say, like a banking, I'd say, well, a plate to go on the front to cover it up, so you don't have a hole in case you wanted to put the wire bit on. But I think this guy must have lost it or got it second hand before I got it and just put one in, because he's done it on both sides. From the front, it's still quite cute at the front too. If you go around, this one has the this side's how it's supposed to look. So that's the vents, or yeah, I guess the vents you could call them. And they've done Bachmann's done a really good job of putting the wire mesh on. That buffer bent. It does seem to be coming away from the body a bit. I'll have to look at that later. Anyway, we also have all this kind of under frame detail. I think that might be a fuel tank. On the back, window wipers, and there's window wipers on the front as well. I forgot to point that out. Window wipers on the back. There's a handrail and another handrail. Once again, lamp hooks on electric lamps, which I still don't understand. Handrails going up. There is a lot of separately fitted items on this locomotive. I believe the horn, just speaking of separately fitted items, I believe the horn on this you have to glue in, like it comes in with the locomotive separately that you have to glue on yourself. Which I think is a bit cheap of Bachmann to do. But I believe this is the older version, as I believe Bachmann's brought out a new one now. Which I might consider getting, have like a double heading of Class 03s. Might get a Class 04 as well. Anyway, if there's anything you'd like to know about the model that I haven't covered, or maybe about the class that I haven't covered, please feel free to ask and I will try my best to reply. Sorry if it's been a bit all over the place, this review. I don't know, it's probably just because I've done the review and I've kind of wore out all my reviewing, because I don't really plan what I'm going to say. I know that I'm going to do the history bit at the start and then all the rest is just go for it. But I did do a review on this before when I first got it, and I think I did the review about 3 times. And I just never put it up onto YouTube. So, but what I do remember saying is that its main jobs was a shunter and a station pilot. And a station pilot is when it probably goes in, collects some coaches, shunts it into the platform for the engine to pick up, and occasionally gives the engine a bit of a push if it needs it to get out. Although it probably would have only needed to do that with steam engines, as diesels were normally a bit heavier on their wheels, I guess you could say. Instead of light on your feet, heavy on your wheels. Anyway, so time to watch it run round. Look, matching liveries. Well, I guess that one's a bit different because it has the... was that for like warning the yellow? I know some of them had a yellow warning, the yellow was for warning, but I don't know if it was like that for the 47, I don't think so. Anyway, so here's the 03, and the great thing about it is it has cab lights, which I forgot to say. Even at low power it's still got cab lights. Backwards. So if this was DCC, I'd be able to turn the cab lights on and off. Oh, it's gotten stuck. And I only cleaned the track yesterday. There we go. Right, so the only problem with having an exhibition model is these. So not all the time does the tension lock on, say, an older model like the Triang towed breakdown I've got here, not all the time do the couplings meet up, so I might... oh damn. Right, that one there has a slightly smaller coupling, so I'm going to have to take the trucks off. Sorry about this. So if I take these two off and I'll put it on the inner line. It seems the 47's Yorkshire Pullman's going to run into the trucks. So we'll back it up. There we go. Now for such a small model, it is very strong. Right, there we go. That's at 40%, well that's at 40 on my Gauge Master Model D controller. And the light's already really bright and it's very slow. And I'd expect nothing less from a shunting engine. It shouldn't be fast. So here it comes. I guess it'd be pretty much the same as the Class 08, and the Class 08's a shunter, and it'd do small freight trips, so it might go to from one station to like a branch line station that's only a couple miles away. So not so it might only be like it needs to take 4 trucks down to another shunting yard, so they wouldn't really need to fire up a 47 or steam up a Black 5 just to go do that, so they'd probably end up using either one of these or a 08, if you get what I mean. Anyway, so time to do all the artistic shots. Be good if the engine would come along so I could start filming it. Ah, here it is. God damn it. Come back. So, the Bachmann Class 03, and I guess this kind of counts for the 04 as it's pretty much the same. Would I recommend it? Yes I would. It's a brilliant little engine, goes around the tightest of curves, and you could easily turn it into an industrial engine, as I believe some were industrials. Oh, damn, the signal's down. Give us a sec. There we go. What am I? Oh, I'm stuck on the vent fan. Oh, sorry about that. That's what happened earlier actually, and then it derailed them. Anyway, so yes, I would recommend it, and I'd almost say if you were gonna get an 08, or you were thinking about getting an 08, maybe consider getting one of these first, as it's got cab lighting and it's so smooth, and it pretty much, it's the well, it doesn't obviously aesthetically look like an 08, but it pretty much does the same job as an 08. So yes, I would recommend it. So my next review will be of the Hornby NE Black Flying Scotsman. So thanks for watching. If you'd like to know anything about the model, or I guess the class, leave me a comment down below. So till then, goodbye.